Metro Police are trying to figure out what is leading to a surprising uptick in teen crime. And again, overnight, 2 juveniles are suspected in an armed robbery. News Channel 5 Sophie Nielsen-Colding updates us from the MAPCO where it all happened.
These suspected teens got away with cash and, get this, candy bars. It happened just before midnight at this MAPCO behind me in Belmead. According to the clerk who was working at the time, these 2 teens came in and one of them had a gun, pointed it at the clerk. Now, there were no cameras outside to capture images of them, but police do say that they are looking at possible teenagers in this trend that we've actually been seeing in the metro area, where all of these crimes, violent armed crimes, are being committed by teenagers. Just yesterday, I was at the Green Hills Library because the night before Wednesday night there was a shooting and the suspects were teens. You may remember that shooting just across the street from Pearl Cone High School last Friday. Well, they're actually still looking for the suspect in that. That's 14-year-old Rico Ransom. I've got his picture along with some other details about a task force that police have created on my Facebook page, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, NC5. Police are creating a special task force to target what they think are 2 separate groups of armed teenagers causing a lot of these crimes, committing a lot of these armed crimes in the metro area. In Belmead, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
Sophie, thank you. 3 teenagers are facing charges this morning after slamming into another vehicle while driving a stolen car. Officers were trying to pull them over when they crashed in East Nashville at South 6th and Fatherland Street last night. The teens ran off, but after a search with aviation, police dogs, and officers, police took them into custody. No one was badly hurt. We now know the names of the 17 people killed during the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. They were students, teachers, and coaches. Hannah Doba talked with families and friends who are trying to start the healing process.
Emotions were raw at the Pine Trails Park Amphitheater in Parkland, Florida, where a massive vigil was held overnight for those killed in Wednesday's high school massacre. At one point, the crowd chanted in unison, "No more guns."
This makes no sense. This is impossible. My girl, my 14-year-old baby.
Earlier in the day, the suspect, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, was brought handcuffed into court.
You are charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder.
Cruz was ordered held without bond. A Broward County Sheriff's Office report says he confessed to details of the shooting. Cruz's attorneys say their client had mounting problems and fell through the cracks.
He's a broken human being. He's a broken child.
He is on suicide watch. The child is deeply troubled, and he has endured significant trauma that stems from the loss of his mother.
As more details emerge on how the attack unfolded, there are signs the loss of life, as bad as it was, could have been worse. A state senator says authorities told him it appeared Cruz tried to fire out of the school's 3rd-floor windows at students as they were fleeing. Thankfully, though, the windows made of safety glass did not shatter. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Parkland, Florida.
School districts in Middle Tennessee are now taking the opportunity to go over their own safety plans and procedures. Williamson County Schools sent a call out to parents yesterday afternoon saying that classes would be closed to students this Monday so the district and its staff could review the district's safety plans. Mike Looney, the school's director, spoke out about why he thinks this continues to happen in the U.S.
The moral fabric of our country has changed. Students' access to weapons has changed greatly. Social media has forever changed the way that we interact with others around the world and even in our community. And quite frankly, I think the gaming industry bears a lot of responsibility. We have desensitized violence to our students.
Metro Schools is also holding an 8-hour course today that will review active aggressor training with administrators, teachers, and staff. And a hero will be laid to rest today. Thousands are expected to gather to honor Jason Dickey, the firefighter who was killed in Lawrenceburg fighting a house fire on Monday. News Channel 5's Blake Rosnowski's down the 5 Alert Center with more. And Blake, I know everybody seems to be calling this guy, he's one of the good guys, they're saying about him.
Amy, Jason Dickey was a father of 3 with another little one on the way. He spent the last 11 years as a career firefighter, known for his heroic efforts in more incidents than one. Dickey died Monday while fighting a massive house fire. Fellow firefighters ran in to try to save him after the roof collapsed on him. Known as one of the good guys, the Lawrenceburg fire chief says it wasn't the first time Dickey stepped in the line of danger to help. He says Dickey saved a 7-year-old boy after a car flew off a bridge and plunged into a creek back in 2012. His funeral service will be held at Mars Hill Baptist Church at 11 today. Interment will follow at Freemon Cemetery in Leoma. The family suggests memorials be made to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis. And if you would like to pay your respects, Dickey's processional will begin around 10 a.m. from Neal Funeral Home to Mars Hill Baptist Church. We've shared that route for you online. News Channel 5 will be at the funeral this morning, and you can stream that live on 5 Plus as well as on newschannel5.com. Amy, back up to you.
All right, Blake, thank you. The special committee of council members is moving forward in its investigation of Mayor Megan Barry. The committee is trying to find out if the mayor and her former police bodyguard misused taxpayer money during their affair. Yesterday, the group asked Vice Mayor David Briley to pick at least 2 law firms to choose from for outside help. The firm would conduct much of the investigation and then report back to the committee. A man is behind bars after bombs were discovered in his house. Tullahoma police say they searched the home of ex-convict Robert Horn after getting a tip that he was illegally possessing guns. They found several firearms along with 4 homemade pipe bombs. Nearby homes were evacuated as the bomb squad detonated the devices. Horn now faces a string of charges. And happening today, the 15-year-old accused of the deadly shooting at Marshall County High School is expected in court. He's scheduled to be arraigned at 1 o'clock this afternoon. The student, who has not been named by officials yet, is accused of killing 15-year-olds Bailey Holt and Preston Cope and injuring more than a dozen others. Today's arraignment is the next step before we learn if the teen will be tried as a juvenile or as an adult. Download the News Channel 5 app for around-the-clock updates.